boring, reassuring. The day I met you, there's nothing I want more than to be right there by your side. Even moonlight, crystal skylines, cross my heart, I'll be there till the end. Right there with you, even though you'll never notice me, 'cause I'm distance speeds, girl, crossing worlds and the
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing match here in Overwatch Tranquility. We are back in the Discord division, week 3 of our season right now. This night's match is going to be Alt F4 versus Eclipse. Both teams currently sitting 1 win, 1 loss in the season so far. I'm your play-by-play this evening, Captain Jack, joined by Vol coming in on the color tonight. How's it going tonight, Vol?
Going great. Very excited for this matchup here. And it could be a long one. Alt F4 has gone 5 maps in both of their previous matches. So everybody sit tight, grab your popcorn, grab your drinks. We're going to be in for a great one tonight.
All right, so we're just finishing setting up the lobby, but if you love what you see here at Overwatch Tranquility, be sure to punch that bell so that you get notified every time that we're online. Also, hit that little heart so you show us how much you love us. You can also hit that sub button, $4.99 or Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription. We'll give you access to some amazing emotes and support our awesome community. Do you have any history on the teams for us, Vol, that we could kind of get into as I'm getting things set up for this evening?
Well, as we all know, first and foremost, Specs is a giant feeder, so we're going to have to watch that all night. But more importantly, PDK Kid on his coveted Junkrat pick can definitely mess some things up. He's also got a pretty quality Doomfist here, so if they want to run a dive, be on the lookout for that. I don't believe we're running the hero bans tonight, so we do have full access to all the heroes. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he can have his whole pick of the litter here. So be very, very careful for that. On the side of Eclipse, they just picked up a bunch of new players. I think they got 3 or 4 new players. So I think this is the first time that we're going to really see them in action. So very excited to see what they're going to throw at us.
All right, it looks like our first map of the night is going to end up being Ilios for the evening. I'm going to go ahead and verify that the teams are ready and raring to go. It's definitely going to be an interesting matchup. Ilios is always one of those maps that you can see a variety of team compositions. Of course, you've always got Ilios, well, Boop Central, as I like to call it, because it's literally all about the boops. And with all heroes being available for the teams, they will be able to use that to their advantage. You also have all the things that have changed that have brought back once again Ilios Ruins, aka Widow's Playground, and hopefully we'll be able to see some aspects of that as well. But it's all going to depend as we as the teams are getting ready here. It looks like we are ready to go. Right. So let's go ahead and start things up as we head to Ilios.
Very excited for Ilios. Like you said, Ruins, Widow Central, well, tons of boops, Lucio, Farah, all sorts of fun play there. Hog Hook. And we got it
first map. This is gonna be a doozy.
This is how you start a night off.
This
is gonna be exciting.
It is. Looking in the chat right now, seeing a lot of those giveaways. Be sure to make sure to use those channel points to get into the giveaway. Every week we give away some awesome stuff, so be sure to be putting in those entries for sure. I do want to give a special shout out to Capital Plays. 6-month streak. Love it. Subscribing as tier 1. It really does help out our community. So thank you so much for that amazing support. I get hosts in the chat saying, I feel so conflicted on who to cheer for, Pepe Hands. So, and it looks like the matchups between these two teams have been incredibly close, especially for Alt F4. But we, as you said before, Eclipse has had some recent changes. What are we seeing coming out here, Vol?
very, very drastic change in styles. We're going to have a dive coming out here on the side of Eclipse, whereas we're going to have a more Death Bally May Brawl comp coming out of the side of Alt F4. And let's see if they can get that coveted May wall position. Oh, big headshot.
Woo! That's going to be a very first couple of picks for Godspeed, going ahead and taking out both Jivis and Sushi right there. Oh, getting the third right there onto My Big Marf, with already it being a 3v6 fight. We are going to see Control immediately go on over to Alt F4.
Yeah, and I'm surprised we're not going to see some changes out of the side of Eclipse here. This is a very difficult composition to dive on. You've got, Moira can fade away, make an ice block, Lucio can boop you, Reaper can Wraith. I don't know if this is going to work.
I mean, you do have a lot of possibilities with escaping those items, though. Ivy, though, able to get that first pick onto J Vice as they go ahead and move their way into the objective, taking multiple directions to try to see if they can get an initial pick, but are going to end up getting pushed back just a little bit. 30% and climbing in the back line. My Big Marf looking to see if they can get a hack and successfully get a pick, but it looks like they will continue to stand strong. 40% and climbing for Alt F4.
Yeah, it looks like Eclipse is trying to play around this EMP build. Already 60% of the way there, but already 50% of the map given up. They need to build this EMP very, very quickly so that Alt F4 does not have any of their escapes ready for when they dive. But I just don't know if it's going to be enough.
All right, Zet's falling incredibly low, but getting back into it as T. Quen being able to bring everybody together. There comes the EMP. Ends up getting the triple right there as we see Boops and the Coalescent coming out. My Big Marf able to take down Godspeed, who was controlling the map for the beginning of that at the 67% mark. We will go ahead and see things swap over for Eclipse.
Yeah, quality dive there. EMP came out, dive came in. However, Alt F4, with the discipline to not waste any of their ultimates, they're going to come in here with 4 ultimates once Specs builds up, and they're probably going to build up all 6 during the fight. So they get to have their pick of the litter on what they want to do, how they want to engage on this fight.
Agreed. Already at the 20% mark, Eclipse looking to see if they can defend. Here comes the Shatter. Ends up allowing Godspeed to take down J-Vice right there. A 5v6 fight. The Blizzard looking to see if they can take down a T. Quen. Doesn't end up getting frozen as they get booped into the well, though. So they're going to be able to escape successfully, but not without the rest of the team getting picked off hit for hit as we see the reclaim coming back in from Alt F4. But the good thing about having the dive is that you're able to come in quickly and just keep that percentage going for your team. 50% and climbing right now is Hingshu able to go ahead and get that pick onto J-Vice, swap things back over for Alt F4.
Yeah, and strong ultimate economy coming out of Alt F4. They use 3 ults, Blizzard, Shatter, and Coalescence. But Shatter and Coalescence already up to 60 and 64% as we get a pause here.
Yeah, it looks like we're having a pause very quickly here in the fight. So I didn't see any DCs. Everything's set up to where if there is an issue, it will go ahead and pause automatically. So apparently something's going on for one of the teams that we're not seeing. So do want to give a quick shout out to Mix Ready. 3-month subscription, half of that 6 months. Love to have you here. Thanks for your community support. As we go ahead and wait and see what comes back, 76% in climbing right now for Alt F4. Vol, what are we looking at for this team moving forward with now another EMP online for My Big Marf?
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about, because even though they have this quality ult bank built up on the side of Alt F4, it doesn't matter once Morph hits that Q button, as long as they get enough people inside that gigantic bubble of an EMP, 15 meters across each side. So big ball of just no. So if he can hit the right people, if he can get probably Ivy so they can't fade away, Jet to get the shield down, and Specs to not be able to bomb or use Defense Matrix, I think that's who you want to target.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. Looks like we were having some ping issues, but it looks like everything is resolved with a quick pause. 80% and climbing right now for the side of Alt F4 as we go ahead and see the dive getting ready to come in from Eclipse. EMP coming out. It's a 5, man. It is deadly. Moving their way in. Impera able to take down Ivy as the Blossom going off in the back line, but everybody's able to dive away from it. Jet does end up getting the DMAC and take down Zets, but everything else is coming up Eclipse as overtime continues to tick away. The last one to fall will be Jet to Emperor right there as they go ahead and reclaim control of the objective, 55% and climbing for Eclipse.
Ooh, absolutely massive EMP there used by Mark. That was a great, and we had a hack on the Ivy here, but gets out. But big ults coming up. 3 ultimates already on the board with a Blizzard on the way that's going to be built up before the end of this map. Alt F4 basically has the ults they need to retake this, but let's see if they can use them properly. That's always the big question.
That will be it indeed. And first, thanks for the subscription there in the chat as the shatter comes down from Jet. Doesn't manage to get much of anything. Now the bomb coming in from Specs along with the Coalescence and Blizzard from Ivy and Godspeed just throwing everything they can at it. Tequin and Emperor will end up falling to Jet, and PDK Kid right there making it a 4v6 fight right now on the objective. 3v6 is Sushi soon to follow as that's a boy able to grab that as well. 99-99 is overtime ticking away right now. My Big Marf staying on the objective. Another EMP. It is huge. Ends up getting the quad right there as we now see Emperor coming back in. Ends up getting the boop and kill onto Godspeed and Specs right there, making it a 5v4 fight on the objective. Ivy and Jet getting some picks as they're moving their way in. Diva Bomb coming down. Zet's able to take down PDK Kid, working their way into that objective once again, getting that remake in, trying to hold on to the objective so the rest of the team can get back in, but it's a 3v1 right now as we now see the return from Godspeed coming back in as that Doom Fist, but they're not able to touch the objective. Just stepped off a little too long. 100-99% Alt F4 will start off with a lead here on Ilios.
Marf making things very interesting there at the end. I thought it was all over, done with it, but then the big quad EMP coming in. That's what you like to see. But after that last fight, Godspeed hitting the big Blizzard onto both tanks. So Monkey can't jump away, can't bubble his enemies. Diva can't eat anything, just free range to fire in. And that was what I think took that final fight here. But it looks like we're going to see quite the compositional change here on the side of Eclipse with this pharmacy comp coming in and trying to go over top, knowing that they don't have any big hit scan.
Well, it looks like they're actually going to change that up on you really quick. J-Vice is going to go ahead and take on that May with My Big Marf in on the McCree. Sushi coming in on that Ana as well, so definitely going to get a lot more direct healing than the Moira kind of a focus, but still kind of widespread healing right there. Specs able to get that first pick already onto Sushi as they work their way into the objective. A 5v6 fight before the point already unlocking. J-Vice and Godspeed using those Maywalls to separate out members of the team as My Big Marf and Jet throwing blows at one another. Emperor ends up finding themselves off the map, but takes Hingsu with them as Zets and Jet go ahead and trade kills on the objective. It's a 2-on-2 right now, or 3-on-1 rather, as Jet goes ahead and takes down Zets, grabs control of the objective for Alt F4.
Yeah, very clean rotation there on the side of Alt F, going through their enemy's coffee shop there. And then finding the way to point. Not getting walled off by that Maywall was huge for Jet. If he would have been singled out there, it would have been devastating for that entire push, but was able to get back onto friendly side. We got some big action here.
That is a slam with that anti-nade right there, but Specs able to get out of there as J-Vice does end up getting the initial pick onto Godspeed as they move their way into the objective. The Coalescence coming out. Deadeye looking to be exchanged, looking to see if they can get that pick or at least take the shield down, and they will. There comes the stun as Zetspo able to take down Jet, and that is going to be all she wrote. A pair of dominoes falling right now on the objective. Alt F4 trying to hold on for as long as possible. PDK Kid being the last one to hold on at the 43% mark. We will see control swap on over to Eclipse.
Yeah, I want to point out this fantastic positioning from Sushi here, taking the high ground above the coffee shop, free firing into point, free nading into point, having nobody in his face, just keeping his team topped off, and there's nothing you can do. If your opponent's healing up all the damage you put out on him, you'll never kill him.
All right, well, let's go ahead and hope that that attention is being paid by Specs as they go ahead and try to dive in on Sushi after the Sleep Dart goes in onto Hingshu. But they're going to go ahead and move their way into the objective. And now Diva Bomb being exchanged for the double Blizzard, and Zetsu Zetsu able to get the double as J-Vice cleans up that Blizzard, making it a 1v6 fight. The hard reset coming in quickly for Specs as Zetsu ends up going for that reset as well, meeting the percentage and surpassing 45% and climbing for Eclipse.
Yeah, Zetsu getting that bomb off first was the big difference in that fight. Able to get 2 with the bomb, whereas everybody was unfrozen by the time Specs was able to launch his nuke into the fight. Very, very good timing on the side of Eclipse here.
Let's go ahead and see if they can make something happen once again. All that for working their way in, but the Nano coming in now onto Emperor, looking to see if they can clean up. My Big Marf also coming out with the Deadeye, not able to grab much of anything, unfortunately, as Godspeed cleaning it up, trying to eat a PDK Kids. Blossom to follow, not going to be enough there from Zets as they go ahead and clear the objective. Alt F4 retaking control, 45% and climbing.
Yeah, Jet surviving after getting walled off there was very, very surprising. I thought there would have been a big enough push on the side of Eclipse to finish him off. However, survived just long enough for the team to get around the wall. Heals started being pumped in by Hing and Ivy, and just kept them up enough for the rest of the team to push on in.
All right, they're moving their way in. Once again, Sushi on that high ground, trying to see if they can get some help. Oh, already getting found out there is PDK Kid as the Shatter comes in from Jet, ends up getting blocked as Ivy able to get that kill on the Emperor. The Deadeye will exchange for Hingshu as they continue to clear the objective. Another Blizzard being thrown in by J-Vice, but I feel at this point they have already gained control of the objective, making it a 5v2 fight. J-Vice and T-Quen will clear the objective, 88% in climbing for Eclipse.
Has anybody been able to hold a defense on this map yet? I feel like the attackers have every fight, which might give the advantage over to Alt F4 here on this final attack.
All right, Diva Bomb Ore coming down on the objective, looking to see if it can clear out. With Specs sacrifices Max so that they can go ahead and touch. Coalescence now coming out there for Ivy, but Jet ends up getting anti-nated, but it's not going to be enough for them. Hingshu sending J-Vice right over the side with the boop as they go ahead and clear the objective one more time. That team kill will ring loud as they retake control, 90% in climbing for Alt F4.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job here. A lot of teams might try to push up in this situation. Oh, don't let them touch point, don't let them touch point. But knowing that they have to come in one at a time, they can get them.
Oh, the wall! Oh, the May wall! The May wall ended up preventing Lucio from being able to touch the point. There were many that were coming in from different directions, but that May wall was clutch because Lucio was going to be the one to touch that objective. T-Quen almost being able to touch that objective, but not soon enough. They're going to go ahead and take this first map here on Elios.
And that's the kind of action we're going to see all night. 99 to 100. Both teams throwing haymakers back and forth. Big ultimates on both sides. Marv coming in with 12 enemies EMP'd on just one map. You know, he was only playing Sombra on that well map, and that's a massive number right there. You love seeing that kind of work from your Sombra. That's how you know she's being super effective.
All right, as we go ahead and get set up for our assault map, go ahead and start popping off in the chat who you all want to see take it away this evening. It looks like Yay in the chat saying, how did Jet live through that? Based on what we were seeing earlier, Jet being able to just barely survive that fight, that they were able to retake the objective that put them in that good position in the first place. It seems like our teams are so evenly matched, but there's something that Alt F4 seems to be doing that is just not matching with what Eclipse is bringing to the table. Vol, can you kind of discern for us what's coming out from Alt F4 that is kind of putting them ahead in this fight so far?
Yeah, what I've seen from Alt F4 is much crisper rotations. I mentioned it pretty briefly into the map, but they're able to identify where the enemy is and how best to move around, trying to single out, focusing on the supports, especially the Ana, knowing that Ana doesn't have any movement ability, so she's reliant on using either her sleep dart or her nade, mostly her sleep dart, to try to get out of trouble. And if the Diva can eat that, the Ryan can shield that, or if she just plain misses, she's in a lot of trouble. So that is a major factor that I'm seeing. That's why you saw Sushi trying to play on that high ground away, forcing Specs to really commit if he wants to take her out of that fight. And then she's hoping that she can either hit a sleep dart or she can get some aid from her own diva on the side and kind of even out that battle a little bit.
I agree. It was interesting to see Eclipse come in with that dive initially on Well, especially that neither team use the typical comp that we see on Well. Usually that Orisa Roadhog, the Lucio with the boops. There were a couple of boops throughout the fight, but really it came down to fighting off to the side, away from the Well and the objective, and just getting pick after pick as you'd see in a normal control map. I found it incredibly interesting that Alt F4 used that strategy to their advantage. Of course, Eclipse also used their dive to their advantage, with My Big Marf again coming up with those huge EMPs over and over again, being able to capitalize on the fact that Alt F4 was going with that Death Ball comp and being able to get picks off of that EMP over and over again. But it's just a very incredibly interesting strategy. Eclipse bringing the map Horizon Lunar Colony a little back to life as we head there for our assault map. So I'm interested to see. This map is always an odd one. It's one of those that is similar to like Blizzard World, kind of fallen out of rotation, and now teams are trying to get ready for it again. Seeing as that we have seen some dive already tonight, Vol, what do you think we might see from our teams coming into this map?
Yeah, dive is a very strong possibility on the side of the attackers. Getting up to that high ground very quickly is a strong tactic. You can see some cheeky Symmetra teleport strats here. And of course, we probably have at least one of these teams run the meta, Mei, Kree, Ryan, Diva. But I'm hoping to see some fun stuff here. We've already got PDK Kid coming out on his signature pick, the Junkrat, and he might be looking to throw a cheeky trap down right by his Reinhardt so that if they do dive, they land right on that spike trap and the team just blows them up. It's a fun strategy. It works. Usually in the lower rank games, teams at this level might suspect that, especially knowing how much PDK favors this Junkrat pick.
It definitely could be a possibility. My Big Marf, though, coming back in on that McCree. Once again, we did end up having a swap for the side of Eclipse. Bubbers coming in for Sushi, so it's going to be interesting to see if the swap of the Anas is going to end up being effective for this fight. They're already sitting on that low ground. As the pause comes in, it looks like we probably have a DC, as I see at TKED just kind of sitting away from the there it goes.
There it is.
It's unfortunate, folks, but it does happen. Please continue to hang with us as we try to get TKED back into the fight. Already 20 seconds shaved. It looks like they were set off to the side room looking to use that Lucio speed boost to go straight to the objective. Do you think that that's going to be an effective measure, knowing that for the side of all F4, they have PDK Kid on that junk that can just kind of spam damage down into the objective?
Yeah, it's going to be really rough. What they're going to want to do here on the side of Eclipse is, once they get their sixth player back, you don't want to stay in there for too long because PDK Kid is just going to keep spamming through. So they're kind of cutting in a tough place here because what you want to do is you want a Lucio speed boost to either across the other side or underneath where the defense is currently holding. But if you try to cut across, that Mei wall is going to come in from Godspeed. And if he gets it just right, he gets 2 or 3 people left out in that main hallway. PDK Kid is going to tear them up. That 120 per grenade with splash damage plus a mine coming in. And then you have Hingshu, throwing in his stuff, Specs shooting missiles in. If he gets an Ana out there or a Kree out there with 200 HP, they're not going to be alive for very, very long. So I think the best strategy is to try to kind of go U-turn outside of where they are and go left of the point if you're looking at the point. And yeah, you're going to take some spam from PDK Kid, but you can kind of alternate your defense matrix, alternate the shield coming up, and you shouldn't take too much damage. And then don't go straight to point. Let that shield rest up a little bit, and then go into point with a full shield. That's what I'd like to see.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. With Tiken back in spawn, they're going to have to take a couple of additional seconds to get into the fight, so they're moving their way in. The team is now regrouped, ready to go. 3 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. The Maywall ends up coming in from J-Vice, and they're going to go for that long haul along the right side of the objective. We now see Alt F4 moving their way back in. My Big Marv able to pick off PDK Kid very early in that fight, though, so it's already a 5v6 fight. You do not have that Junkrat spamming damage below. The Maywall separating out the team right there, but not able to get the damage needed until My Big Marv taking down Jet. 4v6 right now as the DMAC comes in onto Specs as they continue to clear off the objective. TKN able to take down Godspeed with that beautiful boop, and Emperor taking down Specs for the final pick with 2 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. We're going to see them grab Objective Alpha, add 3 minutes to that time bank, and move in on Objective Bravo.
Yeah, great job by Specs there, getting that, or sorry, not Specs, Zetsu, getting our Divas. Zetsu going up to the high ground, getting the kill up top, giving them the 65 and just pushing in from there.
All right, Maywall already separating out Jet from the rest of the team. Still trying to hold that choke, and will end up being successful right there. 5 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock right now as the junk spam coming back in from PDK Kid, working their way up to that tire. We do have some ultimates online right now as we see Emperor just waiting for that shield to get recharged once again. A Jet being able to do the same, and I'm honestly, I'm not for certain kind of what they're waiting for.
Oh, I think they're
right
waiting
here.
for Blizzard. Yep, here's going to be the go button.
The Blizzard getting ready to come out right here. This may be exactly what they need. Fire Strike getting absorbed right there as the High Noon coming in from My Big Marv. Doesn't manage to get anything but shield right there as the Coalescence now coming out. Shatter in either direction, but the one that lands is Jet, able to get the double kills. That's able to send the Diva Bomb into the backline as My Big Marv takes down Jet. Ivy falling soon after. My Big Marv able to take down PDK Kid, but without the tire to grab Emperor right there. They're going to go ahead and go back to spawn. 4 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Thanks, Online NPC, for that sub.
Wow, that was an ult fiesta there from both sides. Marf, though, using Deadeye already back up to 90%. And now, wow, that is some serious speed on that. But I think we're going to get some dueling blizzards here. So be prepared for everyone to be still for quite a while.
Let's see if they can make it happen. Maywall popping up the High Noon, but doesn't manage to get it. Blizzard's coming out the Venn diagram right now on the objective as the beat drop gets invested by Tiken. Able to hold on for the rest of the team. Butters able to take down PDK Kid with the anti-nade. Diva Bomb now in from Specs. And manages to get nothing but shield as they continue to fight their way in, looking to see if they can get those additional picks to start that climb on the objective. Specs and J-Vice able to trade kills on the objective as the Coalescence once again coming out for Ivy, looking to see if it can keep everything together. PDK Kid able to get Bubbers in that backline, and it looks like they're going to chase them off once again as Specs gets that final pick onto Emperor.
Yeah, good job there, actually, there from Hingshu. Typically, you'll see, in most cases, the team that uses their support ultimate second will typically win the fight, as they will have that extra HP later on the fight. So T-Kid using a good job, did beat correctly. I do want to say that. He did a proper job. His team was frozen, used his beat. They were able to survive the blizzard for the most part. However, Hingshu able to use his second, giving his team just a little bit more sustain, and they were able to win that lengthy fight.
Oh! That's a huge tire coming in from PDK Kid, literally right around the corner right there, straight into the shield and the awaiting Eclipse team. That's going to be a hard reset and another minute off the clock. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go.
My goodness.
I mean, it was just so quick. It was immediate, like less than 2 seconds, not enough time to react. Immediately picking off 5 members of that team. That is huge.
Ult efficiency right there. 1 ult, 5 kills, and then he actually tracked down the Diva, got her out of mech. So we'll give him 6 on that.
All right, Diva Bomb going into that backline, but with everyone able to get away. The Shatter coming in from Jet, but gonna end up getting frozen out by J Vice and taken down by Bubbers. Diva Bomb now coming in from Specs, gets nothing but shield right there as they look to try to clean up the objective. My Big Marv takes down PDK Kid. It is a 4v6 fight on the objective. It's Jet now coming out as the ball goes straight into the Blizzard and the tackling Impera as Zetsubo taking down Hingshu right there on the objective as well. Blizzard now coming out for Godspeed as they try to hold the high noon as PDK Kid returning as the Doomfist gets the uppercut kill onto Zetsubo. My Big Marv trading for Godspeed is back and forth right now on the objective. His first stick has been completed, 45% on the objective right now. We now have Jet back into the fight coming in as that nuisance ball coming in with the slam. Doesn't manage to get much of anything. Too spread out is the rest of the team as they look to freeze it out. Deacon able to take down Jet as the beat drop now coming in from Hingshu, able to hold everything together right now. It's a 2v5 fight on the objective. Coming back in as PDK Kid as My Big Marv picking one after another. J-Vice able to add to that by taking down PDK as Godspeed falls to Emperor is just continuing on and on, being able to feed to that objective. The Shatter coming in from Emperor, able to get that second tick, 92%, 45 seconds on the clock. A high noon once again coming in, able to take down a Hingshu, grab the objective with 42 seconds on the clock.
Very, very good stall there, though, coming out of a little over a minute clock there. But my goodness, what a strong push. Getting his Shatter blocked initially there on the side of Impera. But when Jet went for the counter Shatter, he was able to only get one, and the rest of the team was just able to take him out. And when you're minus your main tank, that's a big, big thing to lose. You're losing your shield. You're losing a lot of HP absorption. It's just, and you lose your ability to control space, which is the biggest thing that main tanks bring.
All right, just absolutely beautiful right there. Time on the clock is time not wasted. With 42 seconds, they are still in this fight for another round. All they have to do is make sure to keep Alt F4 off any of the objectives. Right now, they're goofing around, looking to do a possibly weird dive comp, but they're probably not going to end up going for that. But J-Vice choosing to come in on the Torbjorn for this fight. How do you think that's going to change things up based on the dueling maze that we saw last time around?
Well, this offers a very unique twist on this map because as you turret placement right there, it gives you a very good crossfire. So if the teams try to push up into that room via the stairwell or try to take point directly, it can still fire onto main point from there. So it's a very, very good quality turret position. And it's hard to dive it there. You have to really commit. And they're going to have Zetsu kind of babysitting the turret as well. So they're not going to be able to get it for free. But we're seeing double shield tank coming out.
All right, Specs and Jet choosing to come in with the Rhine Orisa right there, but immediately with the picks coming in, despite the fact that they used the teleporter to get to point, they were ready. Eclipse ends up shredding Alt F4 as soon as they touch the objective. Not a tick to be had, and 30 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, and a good Maywall there too. Got it, the Maywall up top, because usually what a lot of teams will do top, fire in from you, poke you down, but Eclipse just said, no, we're making this a ballroom brawl, baby, and they went in swinging.
All right, they're coming back in for another fight. 3 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock right now as we see it now, a swap of composition. Specs coming back in on that Diva. Godspeed and PDK on their respective roles as McCree and May, looking to see if they can get those turrets, and D-Max will end up being successful. It's still that 5v6. Oh, but Godspeed getting the first pick onto J-Vice might be enough for them as My Big Marv coming in with that high noon ends up getting the double onto Godspeed and Hingshu as they go ahead and clean things up right now. The only one left near the objective is PDK, gets the double on Zets and Bubbers right there as they continue to move their way around, kind of dividing out the team is Specs and PDK, but T-Ken will take Specs out of the fight. PDK soon to follow by J-Vice's Rivet Gun. 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Eclipse here really excelling in this gritty, dirty, like I said earlier, barroom brawl kind of comp style where they just take these ugly, dirty, grimy fights and just beat you down, so to speak.
That is definitely what can happen. The turret already doing a lot of damage to Jet's shield, really trying to absorb that is Specs as Godspeed able to take down J-Vice's turret. Once again, the Molten Core, along with many other ults, is online. My Big Mark with that Deadeye coming in. The anti-nade ends up getting Specs and supporting the rest of Eclipse as they move their way into the objective. Now High Noon coming out from PDK Kid, along with that Blizzard, but the Molten Core are going to go ahead and solidify some of that objective. Emperor with that Shatter immediately taking Ivy and Jet out of that fight. The cleanup coming in from Eclipse with only 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock. Team kill will ring loud and proud for the side of Eclipse.
Yeah, big team fight win there for Eclipse, but they had to invest every ultimate they had in order to win that. And you're going to see 3, Specs and Hingshu should build theirs up, so you're going to see 3 built up on the side of Ultimate 4. Marv should get hits because, God, he is building that Deadeye.
Yeah, that has been absolutely huge. Every single fight, Marv has always had that Deadeye online and getting ready to earn up another one right there as they move their way in. Hinjishu able to get that pick onto J-Vice's turret once again, taking it down incredibly early. Specs looking to see if they can dive up onto J-Vice, take them down before the turret comes back in, but it's not going to be enough. Maywall separating out the team, looking to see if they can hold the objective as Godspeed taking down the turret again. Anti-nade comes in. Shatter, though, from Jet, able to get the one, but the Nano now coming in onto Emperor makes them a force to be reckoned with. Zetsubo able to get the pick onto Jet as Emperor trades in for Hinjishu with the tackle. PDK does end up getting My Big Marf as the tire ends up, no tire just yet. Looking to earn it up right there is Jet now swapping over to the Ham and coming back in with the slam. J-Vice and Emperor cleaning up the objective right now. Diva Bomb looking to see if they can grab it, but they get behind the pillar just in time. Emperor able to get PDK Kid trying to hold on to that objective as long as possible. Overtime, Diva Bomb coming in, gets Specs able to clean it up, but J-Vice coming in with the Molten Core once again as Specs ends up getting D-Mech. Too much damage coming in. T-Ken getting that pick on the Specs, and we will see Eclipse tie up the series this evening 1-1 as we go into halftime.
What a dominant map for Eclipse there. Very, very quick, strong push on their attack, and then just a full hold on defense. Of course, PDK Kid getting to play a game. Here we're going to see this 5-man tire just biding his time.
I just love the waiting at the beginning. Sorry, 2 seconds? Why did I say 2 seconds? That was like less than 1 second. It was literally rip.
That man hit Q and clicked mouse one and boom.
Like, whoa, that was incredible right there.
That was Zetsubo chat PDK whenever I play. Zetsu, he does it to everyone. Don't worry, it's not just you.
All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and head to a quick 10-minute halftime. Use the restroom, get a snack, invite some more people to watch some Overwatch action. We'll be back with more Discord Division in about 10 minutes.
Mes doigts délicats frôlent ta peau d'ébène. On me parle de toi, je ne les comprends pas. Le rideau se ferme et tes lumières s'éteignent. Mais la nuit, je rêve de toi sans moi. Tu es parti là-bas. Tu es parti là-bas. J'adorais ce look qui nous donnait ce hook. À chaque fois un ennui, suis partie là-bas. Je 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 suis partie là-bas. L'amour love le jour. Pourquoi tu cours? L'amour love, l'amour est sourd. Je t'ai choisi parmi elles, plusieurs modèles. Sur une page remplie, tu m'as souri. L'amour le jour, l'amour est sourd. L'amour le jour, l'amour est sourd. L'amour love le jour. Pourquoi tu cours? L'amour love, l'amour de faire la cour. Dans une boîte carrée, je t'ai trouvé. Devant ma porte jaunie, on t'a laissé. L'amour le jour, l'amour est sourd. L'amour le jour, l'amour est sourd.
Good evening, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Overwatch Tranquility. Getting a tongue twister already in the beginning there. I am Captain Jack, your play-by-play, joined once again by my wonderful color caster Val. Coming in, can you give us a recap of what we saw in the first half between our match tonight, Discord Division Alt F4 versus Eclipse?
Yeah, first map went 2-0 to Alt F4, but both maps were very, very close to 99. We saw Eclipse coming out on this dive to start off with. Wasn't exactly super effective outside of some big EMPs by Marth. And then on the second map, very, very close. 99, again, like I said, 99-200, but a big May wall on the side of Godspeed blocked them from getting to point. But apparently it only took one map for Eclipse to warm up because they dominated when we got to Horizon Lunar Colony. Put on a very respectable attack. Couple minutes left on the clock, I think. But man, that defense, they threw out a Torb and just Alt F4 didn't know how to deal with the whole composition, shooting from multiple angles. They tried to get the point quickly, didn't work. They tried pushing slowly into the team, didn't work. They tried going fast around to the edges, didn't work. So I think we're going to see some more funky stuff out of Eclipse, knowing that they have some pocket picks, that they have this new roster, that there's no video on, nobody knows too much about all of these players. So I think we're going to see some fun stuff here on Kings Row coming up.
Well, I think the thing that I've found the most interesting, especially when you have teams coming in with different rosters than what we've seen before, is that it's all about the chemistry with the team, like being able to not only follow whatever the shot caller is coming out with, but also being able to work as individuals, making sure to keep straight what they're doing. And despite the fact that you probably had some questionable choices for what we saw in Elios, they were really showing that regardless of the composition that they were coming in with, they're ready to do it. Like that, despite the dive being kind of a hard sell against Alt F4 with that death ball comp, the EMPs were huge, able to clean that up again, tying that out to the 99-99 until Alt F4 took it in the end, and was just continued to be huge for them. And we saw that once again on Horizon Lunar Colony. Our next map is going to end up being King's Row. Surprise, surprise, headed to hybrid. It's just the way it is, folks. Grim's Row is literally the only map that exists in hybrid, apparently. So, but King's Row is just like that versatile map that everyone is so used to. You have that first objective that you can
It's
use those
blanket.
Exactly. You can use those dive compositions. You can use those death ball comps. You can use every stall tactic in the book to be able to hold that first objective. Streets phase is always a gamble in that way too, because there are high grounds that you can use dive to kind of go up and down. Lots of angles that you can get in on those streets, as well as in that final point. It's just an incredibly versatile map. There isn't one composition that kind of rules it all. And so I'm going to be really interested to see what Alt F4 and Eclipse will be bringing to the table. It looks like one of our teams is ready. It looks like both of our teams are ready. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's get the hype going on in the chat as we head to King's Row.
Yeah, heading into King's Row. From the side of Eclipse, I want to see them do what they did on Horizon. I want them to get brawly and dirty because, like we've mentioned several times, they're a newer team and you don't always have that synergy. And I think that's why their dive may just haven't had enough time to practice. But when they get in these chaotic haymaker throwing fights, it's you can throw all of your tactics and your communications out the window because that kind of fight or flight sinks in, and it comes down to mechanical brawl at that point. And I think that's where they can take over Alt F4, just because it kind of takes that whole communication aspects out of the game.
All right, so let's go ahead and get things started. I'm not for certain why the game didn't want to start immediately, and it kind of almost still isn't. We might be having an issue with Godspeed here. Just want to check, Juke. Were we supposed to do a swap of the positioning for the second half? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I didn't see it in the cast that I've done before, but I'm pretty new here, so I want to make sure that we're following all the rules, making sure it's a fair fight. And it looks like we might be seeing that brawly comp that you wanted there, Val. It's looking to come out for the side of Alt F4 as they come in with that defense. They're bringing in Ill this time around for one of their DPS. Going to choose that Reaper, what I like to call the new goats, with just the survivability that comes with both Reaper and May, being able to hold on and just suck the life out of the other team. Going to be interesting to see how that works out. What do you see coming in for the side of Eclipse?
Well, it's going to be very interesting if J-Vice keeps logged in, and I do see him up top right now on that Doomfist, so you might be seeing some heavy fist slams coming in from top. And yep, looks like he's going to jump out. Nope, he's not going to take the ult. He's going to go with the rest of his team.
All right, let's go ahead and see if they can make it happen. The choke is not going to end up being held by Alt F4. They're going to go ahead and give them some space to move in, but the Maywall now coming in as Jet looking to get that pin, ends up missing right there. Emperor falling a little bit below half, but able to get back into the fight as Godspeed literally trying to touch anyone right now. Jet ends up getting swept, but brought right back into the fight as J-Vice ends up getting picked off by Hingshu right there. Ill following up onto Emperor with it being a 4v6 fight. We're going to go ahead and see Eclipse pull out of the objective. Ill getting that final pick onto T-Ken, but My Big Marf on that Reaper ends up getting Godspeed in the end. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
That's going to be huge, though. They're going to have to send Hingshu back to taxi this May, and you're going to see a push here, 4v6.
All right, they're working their way in incredibly quick and ready to go. The anti-nade ends up getting Jet, but now here comes the Coalescence with the wall, taking down Emperor right there as they push their way back in. 49% on the objective right now is Jet able to follow up onto J-Vice. Ill able to take down their counter. Big Marf right there. T-Ken able to take down Godspeed in the end, but it's not going to be enough as we go ahead and see Zet's looking to try to get taken out. That stagger will come in from Specs with a big old mech fist right there as they retreat back to the safety of the team. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock.
That was a great disengage there, knowing that they couldn't take they give up the tick, knowing that they have You know, they can be like, we'll give them one, and then we'll go in 6v6, getting the early picks.
Whoa, right, again, Diva Bomb, Blizzard coming up with a Blossom in the backline from My Big Marf, ends up getting 2 Meteor Strike from J-Vice, cleaning up the Blizzard, takes down Jet and Godspeed. That's a team kill, ringing out loud and proud, with 2.5 minutes getting ready to be added to the clock, and the payload unlocked. 4 minutes, 20 seconds for the Street Spade.
And that's the kind of pushers that we want to see out of Eclipse. If they're going to take this map, they have to be fast and clean like that. Otherwise, if they give any time to Alt F4 to re-engage, to move around them, to outmaneuver them, which has kind of been their strong suit this match, they are not going to be able to bully them like they have been the last map and a half.
All right, very interesting little side battle going on between Specs and Ill and My Big Marf and J-Vice. That Shatter, though, coming in from Emperor, ends up taking down Hingshu with the Fire Strafe, because My Big Marf able to get some picks, but Ill with the Blossom, just ill-timed, if you will, ends up getting absorbed by Zet's defense matrix and taken out of the fight. 3 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock as they continue their way through the street.
Yeah, huge Shatter coming out of Jet, and then followed up, not out of Jet, out of Impera. Oh god! And then a huge anti-nade followed up with Bubbers, making sure that what people were left could not get topped off, and then they Marf just going through those shotguns, tearing.
Oh, Diva Bomb going up and over, gets nothing but shield right there. But they're looking to move their way in. My Big Marf does have the Blossom online. Gonna have to retreat back to the safety of the team as we see the beat now coming in to take out the anti-nade. Wall comes up, allows Impera to get tackled right against him. Shatter now coming in from Jet right there, able to get a couple as they clean it up right now. My Big Marf will fall to Godspeed as the D-Mech comes in for Zetsubo once again, getting Fire Strike right in the tush. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock with just about 10 meters to push that payload.
Yeah, quality re-engage coming in the side of Alt F4 there. Not having to use too many ults there. They're still going to have they're still going to have 4 coming up, sorry. Once Ill gets his Deadeye up. So, should be a good battle here. 3 on the side of... Oh, we're going to have an early one here.
Oh, it's Beyblade! Ends up getting Hingsu, but the stun will come in from Ill, but it won't be enough as the dive continues to come in, takes down the Colossus of Ivy, clears the objective, and with 1:50 on the clock, they will grab objective number 2 and head into objective number 3.
Yeah, looking to push this in quickly, trying to get an magic minute timer. That a lot of teams, that's kind of your target there. That way, in case the other team does push it in overtime or something like that, at worst, it's a draw. Big bomb coming in here.
Oh, and it is with Emperor getting tackled out. Specs gets the double. Ill following up on My Big Marf. Godspeed gets Bubbers in the end, and that will be a reset on the objective. 2 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, great bomb there. Kind of one of those, I don't want to say lucky. It kind of hits some of the terrain and falls in a spot where the enemies don't think it's going to drop. They're hiding behind something else, and all of a sudden it peeks out from behind a corner, and you're done.
I agree with you there. Oh! Bad Shatter from Emperor again, but it gets traded with the Blizzard coming in from Godspeed. It's not enough, though. They're able to pick onto T-Ken, but the rest of the objective ends up getting cleared. Hingshu getting that pick onto My Big Marf, getting fought off, but Emperor with that big hammer gonna take them out of the fight as well. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
Has Impera missed a Shatter yet? I don't. 2 people with a Shatter this entire map.
I do not believe so. It has been incredibly well-timed shatters over and over again coming in from Emperor. Let's see if they can hold, though, with the rest of Alt F4 back into the fight. They're holding the objective now. 1 minute, 45 seconds. Diva Bomb going in from Zest. Gets nothing but shield right there. That's the shatter. Now coming in from Jet. Ends up getting taken down by My Big Marf before they're able to do much of anything. The beat coming in from Ken allows them to hold on as My Big Marf with the Blossom gets Hingshu. Cleanup coming in from Eclipse right now as Jet now coming back in on the ball, looking to do some spin to win action, maybe get a couple of boosts in here and hold on to the objective right now, but the sleeping anti-nade comes in from Bubbers, taking them out of the fight as well. 2 meters remaining on the objective as the feed continues to come in from all that 4, looking to see if they can keep it going. Diva Bomb coming up, ends up getting nothing but shield right there as Specs getting the anti-nade right there from Bubbers as J-Vice takes down Hingshu. The Shatter comes in, doesn't seem to get a lot of value, but J-Vice cleaning it up with that big old fist. Jet continuing to keep it going under that minute timer right now. 45 seconds on the clock, but the cleanup still coming in from Eclipse, getting pick after pick, but not fast enough. Oh! But Jet stepping off the objective just a little too long, lets them push in for, again, that magic 43 seconds that we have seen twice tonight for the side of Eclipse as we head into round 2.
Yeah, good quality stall there, though. Again, we saw a nice stall on Horizon from all F4 and a big stall there, getting it under that 1 minute mark. For those of you who might be new to Overwatch, if the other team manages to push it in with more than a minute left, and then the other team pushes it into overtime, they do not get a second attack, but the other team does. So the worst you can do is draw at that point for the team that had over a minute. So that is a lot of the times the target there. So big stall. I think the hero would take a minute 10 off the clock there with all of those hero swaps.
Nope, I agree with you there, and I do want to apologize, Vol, that my pun was so ill-timed right there. I am a dad. Dad jokes are my thing. It is just who I am. I hope you do not hold it against me.
Biggest compliment you can get, the biggest compliment you can give a pun is to tell that pun was terrible.
I mean, I'm
no
a dad
such thing
of
as a
2.
good pun.
That's just what I do. They just come so naturally. I tell you. All right, it looks like we have very similar comps once again coming in for either side. That McCree May coming in for Ill and Godspeed and My Big Marf and J-Vice. Almost seeing essentially mirror compositions here. What do you think we might see in this fight?
Well, I'm liking the Ana pick actually outside of here because it gives them that range hit. But as I said, that Godspeed takes her down.
Well, those icicles get range too, I assure you. That pick already. Zetsubo able to take down Jet, and I think that's going to be a cleanup regardless with it being the 5v6. Is 4-on-4 right now as they move in, get that first stick on the objective. All F4 looking to see if they can get those additional picks. The Maywall coming up for J-Vice looking to see if they can get that tackle in. Not able to be successful, almost being able to get that second tick as we see it now. Jet rejoining the safety of the team, being able to protect them with that shield. 3 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, as I was trying to say, Bubbers with those anti-nades and that range healing might be a little bit more effective because even though Moira does have a lot of AoE good output healing, it's useless if everybody's anti-naded.
Whoa, that high noon comes out as the Maywall separating everything out goes down, but we'll get Ivy along with the flashbang to take down Jet. That is going to be a cleanup for the side of Eclipse. Team kill ringing loud and proud. 2 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, just solid stabilization there on this side. But this is the big fight that we're going to have here. A lot of ultimates. Shadows on both sides. Blizzards on both sides. Spec should get his bomb coming in here. This is just going to be a slobber knocker of a fight.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Maywall separating out the teams as Blizzard now coming in from J-Vice ends up grabbing Ill and Ivy. They will end up being taken down with the coldness of the Ice Queen right there. J-Vice able to follow up on Godspeed as well as we see another reset coming in for Alt F4.
Yeah, Alt F4, unfortunately, May sitting in the middle of that. Ill got frozen as well, wasn't able to Wraith form out of there. But they're going to have 4 ultimates coming on in this fight. So you should see maybe a bomb shatter to start it off with. I'd like to see that, actually. I'd like to see a shatter bomb come out of there. Hopefully try to get them turned around and then maybe throw in a blizzard over top if that doesn't work. But oh no!
Oh, that's going to be an early pick onto Godspeed right there. My Big Mark coming up huge right now is Ill also getting taken down by the combination of Ebra and Zets right there. They're going to go ahead and shave another 40 seconds off that time.
Marv coming in clutch all night, hitting huge shot after huge shot. We can't say enough about this guy. He's just doing a quality job on this McCree.
With ultimates coming online, they've got to get used. Diva Bomb going into that back line, but the Maywall comes up, not able to get that shatter around the side as Jet ends up getting shattered by Emperor in return, but Ill gets the double onto Zets and to Emperor. That's going to go ahead and be a cleanup of the objective with 45 seconds in that time bank. The only one left to touch right now is T-Ken as they continue to wall ride and try to hold. Not going to be enough. With that, they're going to get 3 minutes to move their way through the streets phase.
Yeah, and with the street phase, that's where this composition is going to be a lot better. Kree has a lot of room to shoot here on this initial point. You got a lot of corners that he can kind of poke around, get good sightlines on. But here in the street phase, it's a lot tighter. And I think this Reaper is going to be able to get a lot more brawly, a lot more in your face than he was on point A.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. We see the separation coming out, trying to grab Big Marf right there, but not going to end up being successful. J-Vice getting ready to fall right there, but will successfully hold until we see the takedown coming in. Ill and Hingshu able to take down Emperor and J-Vice. Setsubo soon to follow by Ill as they go ahead and move their way through the streets. 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, the rest of the team, T-Kid, Bubs, getting out of there, saying we don't want any part of that massacre, and getting a lot of push here on the side of All Dead 4, but because 3 people did survive, they're going to be able to recontest before this second point capture.
All right, Big Marf looking to see if they can get Specs on the high ground as the Blizzard coming in. Ends up getting Jet, but they're protected around the side of the wall. They're going to be able to hold it right there as we now see the Coalescence and Beat Drop coming in for either side. Shatter from Emperor ends up getting 3, but they can't. Oh, my Big Marf with the triple Deadeye as we see Jet rising back to their feet, gets immediately taken back down. My Big Marf clearing out Specs with the mech as well, and that is going to be a cleared objective again. 1 minute, 25 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, slightly questionable charge there from Jet at the end of that fight. Allows Emperor to shatter him, and then Marf doing what he's been doing all night. Clicking head, smashing that Q button, getting the triple kill, and just finishing what the rest of his team started.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen with a minute on the clock. They've got to work furiously to make their way in. Maywall's coming up for either side as the Blizzard. Diva Bomb going in, looking to get that pick. Godspeed will end up falling to Zetsubo right there. It's a 5v6 fight right now. 3v6 as T-Ken just cleaning it up on their own right there as the Lucio looking to get those picks despite being those beautiful heals. They're going to go ahead and push them all the way back to almost the spawn doors. This choke right here at the bridge with only 30 seconds remaining.
And I hate to hound on it, but again, another questionable charge. Jet Emperor was in the Blizzard, was about to get frozen, and then Jet charged him out of the Blizzard. Yeah, you love getting that charge on the opposing Reinhardt, but leave him in the Blizzard. Let the rest of your team click his head and get him down and hold your shield up. Oh, big Blizzard from behind.
The Blizzard comes in. Specs not able to grab it in time. Emperor does end up taking down Jet as the High Noon comes in. Maywall down, getting the pick onto Ill as J-Vice follows up onto Godspeed. They're going to go ahead and clean it up. The only ones left on the objective are the heals as Ivy able to take down T-Ken with the Coalescence. Diva Bomb now coming in from Zetsubo, looking to get that quick remake as Jet now coming in as that ball is trying to touch. Keep overtime going. Will get taken down by My Big Marf as they continue to fight it on. Zet's taking down Ivy. They use the tunnels to try to get to the back of the objective. Maywall will separate them out, and Eclipse will take the lead 2-1 here on Kings Row.
And just a bullying charge out of Impera there at the end onto the Demon Fist. But here we see J-Vice coming in with that gold fist. I think it's going to be the Meteor Slam onto the point. Yep, here we go. Big uppercut.
Yeah, look at that trade out right there. Like I was saying, it seems like the communication and the synergy that we're seeing coming out from Eclipse, despite the swaps that came in for their team, as they've kind of been rebuilding, it seems like whatever it is, it's really working out for them.
Yeah, Marf, one of the pickups that they had, 70% kill participation in that match or on that map, and that was just absolutely huge. Yeah, all the big pickups that they've had lately, Bubbers, My Big Marv, and Impera, all just doing solid work tonight. Big anti-nades coming in from Bubbers, huge sleep darts as well. Impera doing a good job winning the Rhine battle and just slightly beating out Jet. And then Marv. Marv has just been incredible all 3 maps so far. Putting in a big effort, a big push for MVP for tonight, I think, for Marv.
I am definitely interested to see how that's going to end up coming out for them. I got to give some love to Bubbers, though. Those huge anti-nades continue to come in left, right, and center, and it looks like we're going to have Sushi come back in for our escort map, which is going to end up being Havana Unana. So really excited to see how they use that to their advantage, because we've been seeing a lot of long sight lines used by both a Big Marf and Ill, and I wonder if we might be seeing a Widow battle come up.
I think we will. You see a Widow. You'll often see double sniper from some teams on this map. I do think one of our teams is still going to at least run. It always happens, and I hate it. I want teams to have fun, but it's meta for a reason. It's very, very strong composition, but I do think you might run over top, possibly instead of maybe the McCree, you'll see a Widow swap in or a Hanzo swap in. More than likely, probably the Hanzo, as he still gives you that long range push, but still gives you the shield break and that close range capacity with the Storm Arrow. And of course, Dragon, very good for zoning like Deadeye, and gets you, the occasional kill. Unless you're Marf, in which case you get 2 to 3 kills with every Deadeye because you're just that good.
All right, looking in the chat, I have to agree with Online NPC and My Alley Music. Spam this vibe to see a map 5. I feel like all F4 does have the capacity to bring it back. Yeah, it definitely is completely possible to bring it back here on Havana and take us to a map 5. And I mean, they did win out the control map during the first half, so this could be their time for that reverse sweep. Bring it back in the second half and see if they can make it happen. But Eclipse showing very powerful on King's Row, so it's really anyone's game, I feel.
Yeah, but if we can get to that map 5, like you said, Alt F4 had a very strong, and I feel like they would definitely have the advantage there. And I want them to bring out something new for this map. We've seen them running meta all night long, and the last 2 maps, it just hasn't worked. And even on the map where they won, it was still a very close. It was 99 to 100 on maps. So, literally could have gone either way. They could very easily be down 3-0 right now. So I want them to change it up just a little bit. Do something that the other team isn't expecting. And you can probably get a free pointer on this map because you can kind of snowball. If you come out with something weird on point, they don't expect it. Now you've got ultimates to build up. You snowball that second point, and then you get at least halfway to point 3 just for free.
No, I completely agree with you. We did have some swaps come in. It looks like Eclipse going to be bringing in Sushi for Bubbers, and Scene, who we have not seen tonight, will be coming in for Godspeed, taking over that May role, it seems. So I can't say that I know a lot about Scene, but I imagine that they're bringing them in for good reason. Maybe positioning going to be a little bit better, not 100% for sure. What they could change up, but it looks like they're going for a. Do you see what I see coming out right now?
Do you see what I see?
It is not that time of year, fam. Don't be starting that now. Halloween comes first. But a very close-up hold coming in. And I love those paywalls right there. Just shaving that time off of the bank very quickly right there. We are going to be seeing specs coming in on that Zarya this time around as well. So we might be seeing a little bit of a counter to J-Vice being able to use that freeze over and over again, or at least supporting Jet when they go in for those huge tackles. But it looks like Emperor is going to end up getting that first spec. Specs trading out for My Big Mark, but the anti-nade from Sushi will take Specs down. In return, the Maywall separating out the team as Ill ends up getting taken down by Emperor. With 40 seconds off the clock, though, they're going to start pushing that payload.
Yeah, I do like that strategy because yes, you're not gonna get a 4-minute hold in front of the spawn, but you're able to shave off sometimes a minute, sometimes a little bit more. But they got about 45 seconds here, and you're gonna take the fight almost where you would take it anyways.
All
so
right,
it's just free time taking.
That's true. That Maywall comes up early as My Big Marv taking scene out of the fight. Zetsubo following up on Ivy as the Coalescence was getting ready to come out. So that is an ult taken away. Ill does take down J-Vice in return, but with Jet out of the fight due to that fire strike, it might not be enough for them. Ill now falling to My Big Marv after taking Sushi to the grave with them with 2 minutes 35 seconds on the clock. I think they're going to end up grabbing an objective alpha.
Yeah, I don't want to see this recontest here. They might go for it. I would like to see them kind of just have a strong hold, but they are. Ivy goes in and Ivy goes down.
You got to follow it, but they're going to get invested by J-Vice. It's going to clear the objective enough for them to go ahead and grab it, but it looks like Hingjishu just holding out there as that Reddit Lucio gets punched out by Zetsubo as they go ahead and grab objective 1 with 4 minutes 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I would have preferred them to have a stronger presence on point 2 as opposed to taking that fight. But I think like that's what they're going for on this map. They're going to try to just take as many fights as they can, try to wear down this timer as much as they can, and just be very, very aggressive. So look for them just to continue to push in and take fights for the rest of this map.
And we do have quite a few ultimates online right now. Zetsubo using the VATS on that high ground. Shatter, but the Maywall saving the day right now. Separating out from collapsing on that Shatter. J-Vice will get taken down by Jet as the Shatter now comes in, getting to cleanup coming in, and Jet is swinging for the heavens right now. Ill take down T-Ken as Emperor follows up onto Ivy, but Ill and Jet, the 3-letter words, but big damage coming onto the objective with 3 minutes 40 seconds on the clock.
Can we get some feels bads, man, in the chat for Emperor? A 5-man Shatter only to be stymied by that annoying Maywall.
But it's just beautiful timing right there, and that's sometimes all it takes if you give your team enough time to get back up, and that's going to end up working out for them. They're taking the high ground right now. Graviton, though, coming in as the high noon ends up getting popped for My Big Marv. Doesn't manage to get a whole lot of value except charging up. Specs Blizzard now being invested from J-Vice. Taking them out with a Blizzard. Oh! It's the 5-man bomb coming in from Zets to save the day. They're going to go ahead and get back to pushing that payload as the team kill rings loud and proud. 2 minutes 45 seconds on the clock.
Jeez, Zetsu. We can't show that. That's a monk of TOS. That is way too violent. He's trying to get us banned, man. Jeez, calm down. Calm down.
And I mean, that's the best thing to do in those situations, because literally I've seen moments where like the entire map is quiet because everyone's frozen, and those are the best times to shoot ultimates in if you can get them off. We're going to see the trade here for Tiken and Jet on the objective as a high noon coming out for My Big Marv. No shield to protect, takes down Ivy. Emperor and J-Vice following up on kills as well as Specs gets taken out by My Big Marv once again. With 2 minutes remaining on the clock, they're going to go ahead and grab objective number 2, adding another minute and a half to that time bank for area number 3.
Yeah, and Ill staying on the Reaper, despite this being a very wide open point. I wonder if it's just because he has the Death Blossom, but I would like to see him switch over to a Widowmaker or something more, a Kree, something more long range for this very, very open point. So I'm hoping he takes an early fight, Death Blossoms, and then switches regardless.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. They're holding around the bridge corner right here as they go to try to meet in the objective. Maywall coming out for J-Vice as they get sectioned out by the rest of the team. Sleep Dart coming in on Zets as Ill coming in with Blossom ends up getting the double right there as... Whoa! What?
What?
How? What? There's no way that Hinge booped so many people off. Did Emperor just charge off and everyone just went with them?
I don't know.
That was just so odd to see right there. But they're already recontesting. Jet comes in with the Shatter, gets 2, but Frozen out, gets taken down by Emperor with that big old hammer. and they're going to go ahead and keep pushing that payload. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, but maybe this is why Ill wanted to stay on it. They're all going to take this, but he's going to get fined by this May, I think. J-Vice sees him.
Oh, there they go. Oh, the Wraith coming in, but the May will not enough to be able to separate them out after the Wraith. Looking to see if they can get that pick on the J-Vice. That Blizzard gonna be huge, and they know it. The High Noon coming in right now for My Big Marf. The Defense Matrix not able to hold on long enough. Takes down Scene and Ivy, along with getting the D-Mech onto Specs. With 1:40 left on the clock, we're seeing now the fight on the objective. Hingshu using the beat just to be able to try to hold on to the objective. Solo will end up getting taken down by Zetsubo and the remainder of the team. Ivy touching the objective right now, holding it together as the beat now coming in. Bomb coming in from Specs does end up getting My Big Marf. Now the bomb coming in from Zetsubo, looking to see if they can get it, but I think ends up being a little too high. The Blizzard now coming in from J-Vice, looking to see if they can secure the objective, but not soon enough to freeze Hinjisho to hold them onto the objective and take them out. We are seeing Scene swapping over to that Doomfist once again. Ivy taking out Hinju, able to hold on continually. Now we're seeing Ill in on that Tracer, just dashing around, holding things together. My Big Marf matching on that Tracer to push it in. 50 seconds remaining on the clock with only 4 meters left to go as the spin to win. Now coming out from Jared. There's a shatter from Emperor, able to hold on, getting a couple there. Zetsubo and Emperor cleaning up the objective as the anti-nade comes in huge from Sushi. With 34 seconds remaining on the clock, Objective 3 will be captured and will move into round 2.
Yeah, Marf and High Noon in your backline. Name a iconic duo. Getting 2.5 there with the Diva D-Mech. That was just phenomenal. I don't even know how he got to the opponent's spawn for that High Noon. That was ridiculous.
Got to move along that left side of the map, right side of the map, whichever way you're looking down by the waterway. I use that a lot as Sombra to get into the back line. That's why I always love that.
Invisible.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we got a real sneaky McCree coming in from My Big Marf, I guess.
Sushi was with him on the Ana.
So we got a sneaky duo, a real Bonnie and Clyde situation going on here, folks.
It's just like, okay, they're there now, and then obviously they're taking the fight. Everybody's looking forward. All of a sudden, that High Noon pop pulls the trigger super quick and able to get the 2 kills plus the D-Mech, and the fight just snowballs from there.
Absolutely, but that hold was huge, able to shave off another about 1:20 seconds off that clock to bring them down under that minute time bank. All they have to do is get 3 points, and they might be sitting pretty.
Yeah, are we actually going to see this out of Jet?
I think we're going
to see Dive. We're going to see Dive.
Oh, but the huge pick comes in from My Big Marf immediately as the spawn doors open.
See?
They're going to be moving their way back in. Seen on the... Wait, what?
Do it.
Oh, okay.
Do it.
This is all right, we're seeing some Bastion action. I'm never against some Bastion action personally, but with this huge defense that's coming out from the side of Eclipse, it's definitely going to be hard to get set up on that cart as they're using the payload for protection right now. We see the bullets coming in, shredding shields and mechs. All can be seen. The incident is huge. Gets 3 for Sushi as My Big Marf goes into that backline with Emperor cleaning it up. Ill, the only one left, does take down My Big Marf as the D-Mech comes in onto Specs. Will get taken down by J-Vice as well. A minute shaved off that time bank.
Yeah, a lot of time coming loose here. They only got 1 kill. Marf, they're probably going to back up because Marf's not going to be able to get there very fast on the tree.
All right, let's
rolling
see
those boots over.
Woo! That first pick on to Scene is going to be huge for the defense. Ill soon to follow. Now switching back over to the Reaper. The Nano coming in right now as Ivy ends up getting chased to spawn door by Zetsubo, separated from the team. Another 25 seconds off that time bank, and another swap of heroes for Jet.
Yeah, this is just not working no matter what they're trying. They can't do anything. They can't get any room to work.
And I think that's
different. You can't just keep pushing with this meta comp.
Well, I think maybe that's going to be their strategy now, is to see if they can match up the meta. The Blizzard now coming out from J-Vice along with that beat from T-Ken is going to allow them to go ahead and hold right now. As we see Zetsubo getting slept out right there. Ill able to get the double kill onto Emperor and Sushi. This may give them what they need as the beat now coming in from Hinjishu. Able to go ahead and hold everything together. They're going to end up getting that D-Mech onto Zetsubo, picking off J-Vice, Zetsu, and T-Ken, getting that payload moving, but a lot of time shaved off that clock. 1 minute, 40 seconds remaining.
Yeah, over to 2 minutes taken off that clock spawn camp with him. That is very, very... And that is a very strong hold. And now they're going to get another fight here on this first point. It's not like usual where you hold that first corner, you get one fight, and you better hope you keep winning.
Ooh, the sleep dart comes in, though. Takes down Emperor for them to get that ante. As we see the speed boost coming in. Diva Bomb looking to see if they can counter the, Deadeye that came in. Shatters coming in, though, from Jet. Ends up getting a couple as they trade kills right there. Emperor tackling them out. Maywall separating out J-Vice and Emperor as the tackle comes in. Blossom now in from L, but the defense matrix holding on just a little bit, but not soon enough. J-Vice able to take down Ill with the Blizzard, following up onto the rest of the team with 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Jet again swapping heroes left and right just to be able to get back to the objective, but now they're going to get pushed back to spawn.
Yeah, pushed all the way back, and that's going to give Eclipse enough time to get all 6 members back to this point. I would have liked to see Alt F4 disengage earlier and try to come back and take a numbers advantage fight, 6v4, 6v5 fight. But unfortunately, not enough, and they got stuck fighting.
All right, we see the Nano now coming in on
him.
My Big Marv coming in with that Doomfist now as Zetsu takes down Seam. The Blizzard coming in, ends up getting 2, but not a lot of follow-up damage to be had as Hinju able to follow up on that Zetsu, and Emperor able to get some picks as Hinju takes down Sushi in that backline. Emperor is going to go ahead and get that final kill onto Hinju as overtime ticks away. Eclipse bringing it back based on what we had seen so far will now take a lead in the season against Alt F4, grabbing the victory tonight.
Yeah, great job from both teams. A huge first map coming out of Alt F4, and then just finally getting warmed up, it appears. But here we're going to see that gigantic bomb. Perfect placement. Oh, you love to see it.
That was huge, and it was just perfect timing right there. I feel even if it would have ended up going a little higher, despite the blizzard, that still would have ended up getting a huge amount of value with everyone being frozen on the objective right there. Go ahead, chat, start blowing it up. Who do you all want to see as your player of the match this evening? I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to start off by giving some love to, I feel like I got to give Tank love tonight. I got to give it to Emperor on Eclipse. Those shatters, huge, over and over again. The second map, Horizon Lunar Colony, is 6. Man, shatters coming out. Just absolutely huge for the side of Eclipse. Emperor doing a great job knowing when to get those in, knowing when to safely protect the team and stay with them, avoiding both Scene and Godspeed walls over and over again to be able to not get picked off and separated from the team. So, Emperor, you're walking away with my player of the match tonight. What you got there, Val?
Yeah, and I know everybody thinks that I've been talking about them all, and you want to hear me say Marf. But I'm not. Because guess what happens? You don't get big DPS ults without your tanks making space. I'm following up, and I'm doubling down.
Doubling down!
We're getting Impera up there, because honestly, the huge shatters, it just dominated that Rhine battle. You saw he tried playing some stuff on the first maps, tried playing Monkey. I think we saw a little ball action as well. But once he got on the Reinhardt, just dominated space, dominated the Shatter game, won the Rhine games, and just outperformed and made space for those DPS to do what they do best. Yes, Morph put on a fabulous performance, but it wouldn't have been as great without the Reinhardt making the space for him.
I agree with you there. It was just an incredibly beautiful match. The score honestly does not do justice until we got to the second half. These were incredibly close matches between Alt F4 and Eclipse right there. I'm not for certain what ended up happening to Alt F4. Maybe they just lost steam in the second half, but hopefully they'll be able to go back, watch the VOD, review kind of mistakes that have been made, work it up. It's still very, very early in the season for them to be able to go ahead and continue moving it forward. Seeing a lot of GGs and giveaway entries flooding.
We do have to do a call out in chat right now. Bubbers voting for himself for MVP. Love to see it.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You got time to come in.
He did hit some fantastic anti-nades and some very, very big sleep darts. So you did well, but just a little bit less than everybody else.
It is all right. Absolutely all right there. So let's go ahead, take a look at our schedule. Next match coming up is going to be next Tuesday on the 18th, I believe. Or no, we have a match scheduled for Friday, correct?
We do have a broadcast tomorrow. We recorded it yesterday. Oh gosh, I casted. Oh gosh, who was it? It was. You would think that I would know this since I was there.
It's all right. It happens to me all the time. They all blend together eventually.
Yeah. Second Chance and Pogfish was a fantastic match. I'm not going to spoil anything. So please go out, watch that. It was a phenomenal match that you're going to want to see.
So be sure to check that out tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next live match will be next Tuesday on the 18th in the Harmony Division, Fighting Potatoes versus the Comets. So I'll be interested to see how that ends up working out for them. I want to give a special thank you to Juke, our producer tonight, doing an incredible job on that camera and helping us out. Thank you so much. Looking in the chat just one more time to see if there are any additional. J-Vice saying, what about that J-Vice Torb? I mean,
you didn't play enough of it. More Torb. We wanted more Torb.
Next time. More Torb next time, and we'll see some MVPs right there.
One map isn't enough.
J-Vice did an incredible job, despite it, whether it was the Torb or the May, was just able to get pick after pick. So definitely an honorable mention right there. Great job to everyone tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. You can find me on Twitter at CAPT_Jack87. I don't have much there because I just started one because I'm kind of an old millennial, but I assure you lots of stuff will be coming in the near future. Val, you want to put any kind of social media handles out there?
Yeah, you can follow me at Volnilo. Very, very. And go ahead and give my team, OWT Flashbacks, a follow as well.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here again at Overwatch Tranquility, and we'll see y'all next time. Tranquility.